Morning. A tank is coming. The Russians have formed a strike group. They are already in the field. The assault has begun. The first target exploded. It was the detonation of mines. The IFV is taking drones into the sky. The attack drones are already over the battlefield. The confused enemy has lost speed. The battle order is broken. Tanks and APCs are under massive attack by drones. Only one MT-LB left the minefield. The operator was tracking it. The APC is trying to run away, but was hit by the FPV. The second hit. The reconnaissance drone confirms the target's destruction. Another assault attempt nearby. Two Russian APCs attack. APCs are firing at Ukrainian positions. One of them gets hit by a drone. Artillery is firing at the area, but its fire is inaccurate. A second attack drone flew to finish off the damaged IFV, although it was countered by electronic warfare. The scout confirmed that the first FPV managed to destroy the target. One of them gets hit by a drone. It also has an electronic warfare device on its roof. However, the drone hits. The APC is already engulfed in smoke. Intelligence reports on the situation, and the IFV decides to strike again. The third drone hits the target. Take a look from a different angle. After such an explosion, the APC cannot be repaired. The enemy continued to attack. Mines destroyed two enemy APCs nearby, and the third was immediately blown up by a drone. On another road, an APC hit a mine. A powerful explosion enveloped the target in flames and smoke. Take another look at it. Just a few mines turned the APC into worthless metal. It reminded me of a legendary episode from the beginning of the war. Back then, a Ukrainian air defense system hit an enemy Mi-24 helicopter. The target also turned into a fireball because the helicopter's armor was helpless against the missile. Now look at this attack by the Russians. It starts with a successful Ukrainian drone attack. Then a second drone strike destroyed another APC in the column. There's only one target left. You can see that the enemy is in panic. The APC was circling in search of cover. The scout was tracking the target and recorded it being caught up by a Ukrainian FPV. The drone catches up to the APC and delivers a fatal strike. We see that the last target is just as easily destroyed as the previous ones. The attack has failed. The drone operators continue to destroy the damaged Russian vehicles. An attack drone flies into an immobilized enemy APC. The scout records the hit, but it is not enough. Immediately, a second UAV flies into the target. The third one hits the hatch. The fourth drone drops the thermite. After that, the equipment is beyond repair. A nearby bomber throws a grenade into the hatch of a tank. The explosion causes a fire. In a couple of minutes, a column of fire bursts out of the tank's turret. One well-aimed burst destroys the tank from the inside. The heat trail allowed the drone with a thermal imager to find the enemy tank, which was hit but still combat ready. The attack drone caught up with the target, which was already on fire. The scout confirmed a powerful explosion. The second attack drone detects that the tank is still on the move and hits it from behind. This hit stops the target. The next drone flies right under the gun. The hit envelops the tank in smoke. Later, the scout records the destruction of the target. The next day, an attack drone found an abandoned armored personnel carrier. It needs to be destroyed. The drone flies around the target to choose the best place to strike, but as the drone approaches, the signal goes dead. This is the work of electronic warfare. However, the scout, who was given the target's coordinates, records the hit. The cumulative charge of the Ukrainian UAV struck where the APC had ammunition. But after a while, the scout confirms a fire inside the IFV. The armor's pierced and the target is on fire. This is not enough, so the second drone hits the engine area. We can clearly see the Ukrainian drone on the attack. Nice hit, but it's not over yet. The third drone flies to attack. It delivers a control strike to the turret of the burning enemy infantry fighting vehicle. After the success of their drones, the AFU went on the offensive. A reconnaissance drone recorded the Bradley exchanging fire with several enemy positions simultaneously. Look how furiously he's shelling enemy positions. I am shocked every time by the power of the Bushmaster cannon. The Ukrainians broke through and landed very close to the enemy positions. After the Ukrainian infantry had already withdrawn, an enemy drone hit their equipment. The assault did not go according to plan. In order to save their personnel, the soldiers were ordered to withdraw. In order not to remain an easy target while the door opens, the Bradley starts moving, and the soldiers take cover behind its hull and retreat. Later, the soldiers got inside and were able to leave the trap because of the smoke screen that masked their movement. Nearby, Ukrainian infantry engaged in close combat with enemy soldiers, who were much more numerous. Bradley came to their aid. The Ukrainians were ordered to move away from the windows, while the 25mm cannon fired at the building. Bradley approaches the building and releases a smoke screen. We see Ukrainian soldiers successfully immerse themselves in the IFV that came to rescue them. After that, Bradley quickly leaves the dangerous area. The rescue operation was a success. That's why we love this legendary vehicle. And now, I'm going to show you something very interesting. Beautiful morning. Donbass. Russian troops are preparing their attack. We can't count how many times this has been an unsuccessful Russian assault. The occupiers attacked with 2 columns of armored vehicles. The first column passed the remains of a previously destroyed T-90 tank. Ukrainian artillery hits one of the targets. The battle lines were broken. This gave the Ukrainians time to prepare a counterattack with drones. The AFU is preparing the first attack. That's a precise strike. Ukrainians are monitoring every action of the enemy. The Russians are moving chaotically. Panic may have set in. The enemy recovered and continued the breakthrough. A scout recorded several hits on an enemy tank in a row from afar. The rest of the column tried to move on, but not for long. At this stage, the Russians were unable to act coherently. One APC simply stopped in a field, the second near a forest clearing, and the third decided to run away. Will the second column be able to break through? They are already following the route and picking up speed. A tank tries to force the river, but gets stuck and stalls. MT-LBs and an APC come up behind them, taking the tank's crew away. The confused enemies drive away. Without the tank, they gave up the breakthrough. The first column of attackers was stopped by Ukrainian drones, and a second by the Ukrainian river. However, the enemy must not be allowed to escape. Several drones catch up with and shoot down an armored personnel carrier, from which soldiers are fleeing. They run chaotically. They were able to successfully escape. And the APC is not going anywhere. Now Ukrainian artillery begins shelling possible enemy positions. Drones fly to the abandoned equipment. A scout records a number of hits. The assault fails. In the Kursk region, the enemy also launched an assault. An attack drone of the AFU flies straight into the first APC. The scout records a hit, but the movement continues. The breakthrough sector is under fire from mortars and drones. The damage is visible from afar. With each hit, the armor becomes weaker. Another hit is near the trees. The enemy has broken through there. A tank is trying to attack Ukrainian positions. At the same time, an AFU drone stops it and it is immobilized in an open field. The red rag of the Soviet flag develops over the hit tank. The last APC is trying to escape, but the Ukrainian drone will not let it do so and will put an end to this attack. These soldiers have been informed of the impending Russian assault. The Ukrainians develop a defense plan in advance. They have to resist the armored vehicles. And so, the enemy made a breakthrough after the snowfall. The first target was hit with an RPG. Ukrainian soldiers are right here. The attack will go right through them. This is what the preparation for the Russian assault looked like earlier. A group of Ukrainian infantry had been here for some time. Having been ambushed, the enemy continues to attack. Infantry disembarks from the previously damaged armored personnel carrier. Drones are sent to the enemy. The tank is forced to return to the damaged APC. After that, the tank retreats. A Ukrainian drone is attacking it. Another FPV flies to finish off the target. The assault is overwhelmed. Artillery and drones are clearing the sector. The FPV approaches the target and records the first hit. The scout confirms it. Meanwhile, the FPV flies towards the tank. The explosion scatters the burning fragments of the hull. The FPV flies right into the hatch of a nearby stopped APC. An explosion from the inside tears the target apart. The scout films its remains. Night reconnaissance allowed the Ukrainians to discover a rare, expensive, and most importantly, deadly weapon. This is a Solntsepiok, a multiple rocket launcher system. A Ukrainian UAV follows it. It finds an ammunition depot. The bomber flies and drops a shell. Detonation occurs. The night vision camera records the chain reaction, which has an impressive result. The entire enemy's thermobaric ammunition depot catches fire and detonates with a series of impressive explosions. This is a very dangerous type of weapon, and its elimination saved many Ukrainian soldiers. As a result of this explosion, a fire broke out, scattering the detonated ammunition in waves in different directions. The fire burned all the ammunition to the ground. And that's the end of it. Catch you in the next episodes.